thing that I can say is what I was totally unaware of. I thought dogs, when they were having their period, just went through a hormonal change. I didn't think they actually physically bled, and they do. We were in exactly the same position as you. I mean, we contemplated having a dog, but we had a rabbit beforehand, and we contemplated getting a dog, and we looked after friends' dogs when they were away with their children and everything. We thought, okay, we're going to go get one ourselves. And then a friend of a friend had Honey, and because she travelled an awful lot with her work, is that she couldn't really look after her, and because we'd looked after her previous dog, she sort of said, you know, could you look after her for a month? And we said, as long as she can get, because my husband's Scottish, I said, as long as she can actually get on a train to Scotland, that's absolutely fine. And she was perfect. Oh. And then when we got back, we said, when would you like her back? And then we got a little message and said, would you like to keep her? We couldn't believe it. So we went on to YouTube, our favourite place of how to train your dog. You know, what's the dog language? What is it trying to sort of like say to you? And honestly, it was this different level of communication, which it was extraordinary, toying with it. And I honestly wouldn't change it for the world. The only thing that I can say is what I was totally unaware of. I thought dogs, when they were having their period, just went through a hormonal change. I didn't think they actually physically bled, and they do. So there were all these droplets of blood, and I was like checking her and thinking, oh my God, has somebody, you know, has a dog been sort of like really vicious with her? And I was like rushed her down to the vet. So they basically said, no, she's on heat. And then she turned into the slut dog, you know, tail to the right. She wouldn't eat, and that was, you know, traumatic even within itself. She wanted to escape, you know. It's like, you know, come. So we had to take her out at night because honestly, they can smell her. And they're at the gate like, oh my God, I just want to get to you. So that took a whole while. And then we had to get her spayed afterwards. And then that was traumatic within itself, being a woman. And it was like her hair's like really sort of like curled up. But now look at her, she's back to her normal self. So if you're going to get a dog, there's a lot of things to contemplate. There are phases to go through, but it does pass. And she's beautiful. And honestly, she takes the ordinary into the extraordinary every day. And I think also is that you see people walking the heath every day, familiar faces, but you would never ever say hi. Now it's a completely different community. People stop, people say hello, you know, there's this little exchange. And I think one thing which I thought was really poignant was there was this elderly woman who had a dog, and she said if it wasn't for her dog, she would never meet anybody and she'd be totally lonely. And I think that is a real key thing, and also it keeps you incredibly fit. You don't need a gym membership. You get your 10,000 steps in every day with a dog.